सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं कर्वावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम तत्सत श्री साई ईश्वराय अर्पणमस्तु Om Shri Sai Ram. I welcome all of you to this beautiful Saturday evening, and I hope all is well in your respective places. Today, since morning, I have been experiencing very beautiful energies. It's been quite remarkable. I'm feeling a much lighter presence today. And as I shared some videos in the group today, there's been a very strong presence of Hanuman since morning that I've been experiencing. And I have been experiencing a lot of beautiful visions in the last couple of days. And I can see that the environment is beginning to shift and the energies are beginning to alter. So that means lovely times ahead. And surely it's an amazing time of transformation that we are witnessing. The one question that has come into my mind and I want to ask all of you is, are you all feeling comfortable with your own selves, in your own presence? And I thought that's where we start our conversation today, because at the end of the day, when we talk about the concept of the self, and we talk about the concept of the state of beingness, that often confuses a lot of us, and that is the reason why we keep going around in circles a lot of time. And I've been trying to send and post only those messages in the group which are relevant to this journey, which are relevant to where we are standing, and what's the experience that we need to experience. Because a lot of times we are not even aware of where we are wanting to go, and we kind of let the circumstances take us to an almost automatic way without even being aware of what's happening to us. So this awareness is actually quite critical. And when we talk of higher concepts like Satchitanand, or we talk about experiences of being in a state of oneness, I feel that it is important for all of us to understand what it really means for us, what it actually translates into a day-to-day life. And that's what we discussed in our last session as well. So to me, a very simple way of putting that is, am I feeling comfortable in my own skin? Am I feeling comfortable with my own self? Am I simply at ease with my life, with my circumstances, with my situations, with my challenges as well? And that's a question I think we need to ask ourselves. And that's a question I think needs a little bit of deliberation. Because to me, cutting the big concepts out, cutting the technicality out, taking out the jargon around a lot of words, a lot of matter, and which often confuses us. And that's what we discussed during the Q&A session last time as well, that a lot of times we are already experiencing something, our own selves, it is asserting itself, but how ever we are not able to recognize it, and we get lost in the objectification of it, because we are so used to seeing everything with a name and form and a body and an appearance, that we want to even see the real self as an object. And therefore, because this whole experience of the five senses is about objectification, and therefore we are kind of trapped in looking for something very tangible, which is something we can touch, or we can call it something. So therefore, we kind of start to put the whole idea of an experience at the backdrop, and we, most of our times, we are questioning our experiences, we are doubting our experiences, and therefore we are constantly seeking validations. We want people to confirm to us. That's why we need a guru in our life, because we're not sure, and we don't know whether what we are experiencing is right or wrong. And the mind is known to doubt, the mind is known to question, the mind is known to challenge things, and therefore what we do is we start seeking these answers in an external form. And 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 slowly what happens is we get trapped in that external form, because it's very easy. We don't have to do the hard work, we don't have to go through the experience of doubt, we don't have to go through conflicts. When it is so easy to go to a name and form, and put all your dilemma and your challenges and your questions, and it's so strange that we are willing to trust an outsider just because that outsider is called as a wise master or a guru. But we don't trust our own selves, we don't trust our intuition, we don't trust our own instincts, and we never even get time to even deliberate upon this, ever actually question this, that everything is already here, and yet we are constantly looking for something on the outside. We're wanting all our answers on the outside, whereas there is nothing in the outside except for delusion. What is outside is a manifestation of the mind. What is outside is a creation of the mind. And it is all subject to change. It is so temporary. The whole idea of a name, the whole idea of fame, the whole idea of opinions, our attachments to people, resources, wealth, money, our attachments to life per se, and our fear of death are all to do with the tangible outside experience. And so therefore, the experience within is something alien to us. And therefore, what is alien, instead of trying to become comfortable with it, right, which is what you should do, isn't it? Normally, what you are uncomfortable with, you try and find ways of becoming comfortable with it, right? For example, if we are unwell, we are having a headache, we're having a stomach ache, what do? We take a medicine so that we feel better, we feel comfortable, isn't it? But what do we do in life? When, instead of trying to get comfortable with the self within us, what do? We run outside. We look for answers outside. We look for something which tangible we can hold on to. And therefore, we never get comfortable with this, our own selves, with the idea of being complete, with the idea of, being that Atman or that self or that consciousness, which is complete by itself, which is intelligent, which is all knowing, which is all pervasive, which is all powerful. Instead of trying to say, why don't I get this experience? Why don't I feel, this completion? Instead of going in that direction, right, and finding ways and means of doing that, finding ways and means of being comfortable with ourselves at all points of time, we try to cope with this idea of comfort by going outwards and by finding activities, objects, and people who make us comfortable. Yeah. And whether it's looking for entertainment, whether it is looking for diversion, whether it is looking for answers from an outside set of people, or acquiring thing or fulfilling desires, it is something that continuously keeps going, right? And that's a kind of a perennial trap we find ourselves in. It's a trap that is laid by us. It's a trap of the senses. It is a trap of what is called as unreal. And as I posted a blog a few days back, uh, it's a it is what is called as a game of reality. I thought of looking at the whole experience as unreal, but I said, instead of calling it unreal, and everybody will keep saying, it is so real to me, why do we keep saying it's unreal? But actually, it is reality as we call it. But on the other hand, the whole experience is beyond our control. The whole experience is of a game being played where we all are playing, a small role in it. And if we understand the futility of this game, if we understand the end result of this game, and if we work towards meeting that end goal, then actually the whole pain in this experience, the whole heaviness in this experience, that just disappears. And as the connection of the inner self grows, you start feeling this interconnectedness. You start experiencing that you're not alone. And you start experiencing this oneness of consciousness with not just human beings, but with the animate and inanimate beings as well, sentient and insentient beings as well. And it just comes, and you do not need to make an effort. You do not need to do anything specifically, because anything that requires an effort is only till that stage where you are not comfortable in your beingness, in your ability to just be. Either if you are involved in action, and action can be any action, whatever we do in our lives, whatever duties we have to perform, or we are in a state of inaction, right? Just not doing much. If we are feeling comfortable without having a urge of running outside, of doing something, then know that you're operating out of the core of your being. That the inner self, call it guru, call it Atman, call it consciousness, the names are not at all important. Whatever name you are comfortable with, I, for example, is a good name, right? You are in touch with that when you start feeling that. And the only thing we have to do, remember, it's a game, and in game you get better and better in playing a game. A tennis player becomes, a good tennis player. A good soccer player becomes a good soccer player and is playing that game. So what do we need to do in this game? We need to get better and better in the sense that we get more and more comfortable in our beingness. We become more and more comfortable at all times, not just at home, not just in your own controlled environment, but we need to start becoming more and more comfortable even when we are interacting with the world. Because we cannot be isolated beings. We cannot just sit at home and say, I like this room, I like this place, I like these kind of people, I will only interact with them. I can interact with them, and I should interact with them only till the time that environment is giving me an opportunity to fully get established in my beingness, to get fully established in my peace, to get fully established in my contentment, to fully get established in this sense of being in comfort at all times, no matter where you are, no matter what your company is, no matter where you are thrown, right? Because that is when the whole energetic dimension of ours will start to operate. But there is a preparatory stage before that. There is a stage where, we are all coming out and we are all starting to experience this oneness of the inner self and the outer personality. When they all merge together, when they all become one. And what I mean by that is when all our impulses and all our actions stem from that sense of peace, from that inner state of being, is when the inner and the outer will start to balance each other. They will come in harmony, right? And that is when life starts to become a flow, where the effort of life goes away. Effort is only till that stage where we get into that stage of stillness. Stillness does not mean non movement, stillness does not mean non action. Stillness is a state of being where from within there is absolute peace and there is absolute silence and there is an absolute feeling of being in control. Okay? No matter at a physical level how much of movement is happening. That stage is what we are looking at. That is the stage where we talk about Chidananda Rupam, Shivoham Shivoham. That is what each one of us is wanting to experience, right? And I therefore keep talking about it because the time has come. The energies are very, very conducive for this experience to take place. While on the outside, in the outside world, there is chaos, and the chaos is going to continue for a while because remember, we have spoken about it and we have written about it that the world is going to go through a phase of deconstruction before the new world gets constructed. Okay. However, there is a balancing force of creativity that is being unleashed within us. So therefore, always the inner and outer are always in balance. That's how the balance gets maintained. So while the outer world is crumbling, the inner world there is a resurgence and a renaissance that is taking place. That you must absolutely understand, and to understand, you need to experience, and to experience, you need to start going into a sense of sense withdrawal, or you may call it meditation, because that's where you will start to experience it, right? Because once the experience comes, you know what it is like, you know what this balance is all about, and then the energies will start to guide you from within. You will intuitively start knowing what this journey is all about. And any kind of a fear of separation, of what's happening on the outside world, that should today be addressed, and we should clearly be aware that all fear stems from ignorance or attachment, right? The outer world, remember, is a manifestation of our projections, the projections of our mind. The good, bad, and the ugly was all created in the mind. Okay? God created a most beautiful planet. God created all beings as embodiments of love. And the whole idea of creation was a expansion of this love. And that is how we came in as well in our various avatars, in our various lifetimes, to actually experience and spread love, right? So the input was supposed to be love, and the output was also supposed to be love, right? But somewhere over these periods, the game went a little awry, and some challenges, got introduced. But now this game is being resurrected back. Okay, so we need to start creating a distance between the outer world and the inner world, and be very cognizant and be very aware that we can, each one of us, we are not helpless. Each one of us has the power and the ability to be able to influence very positively the outer world. Because remember, everything is a manifestation of the mind. So there is a huge responsibility on each one of us, first, to experience that sense of peace and presence within each one of us. And once we feel that, we can start to actually share this presence, which is universal in nature, with each and everyone. And that is how we start to play the role of creative construction. And this does not require an effort. How can we make an effort in, being the embodiments of love? We are that, right? We just have to recognize it. And therefore, let it flow. Let it happen. Don't bring the mind in. The mind is only creating roadblocks. The mind is only creating barriers. Just imagine. I want everybody to close their eyes, and let's experience this energy right now. And let's experience the presence of this consciousness, this primal consciousness which created this universe. This primal consciousness, which is the creator of all that exists in, and it exists in consciousness, it exists in energy, and through the play of energy, there is matter. We are born in this world as pure consciousness, absolutely pure, absolutely pristine love, absolutely pure and selfless, without any idea of separation, without any idea of possession, without any idea of attachment, without any concept called fear, without any concept called mine and thine, without any concept of trying to hold onto something, without the idea of being at peace or in discomfort, without any idea of good or bad, without any idea of right and wrong, without any idea of likes and dislikes, without any idea of lust, anger, ego, desires, expectations. We are that pure form of consciousness. This consciousness is coming awake at this point of time. This consciousness, which was always there in each one of us, is now being awakened at this point of time as we speak. The primal source of consciousness is working through with each one of you, and it's getting activated. Feel the release of all negativity. Feel the release of all that which has been fed into your mind by the world, by the society, by your mind. All is being released. And this release is being fed into the fire of jnana that burns in the trikuti, which is located above your third eye in the form of a triangular fire, the fire of knowledge, the fire of wisdom, burns all the negativity brought into our consciousness through the experiences of past lives, through the experiences of this life. Let all this negativity be fed into the fire of jnana. Let it all burn away and get purified, because the fire is the only thing that purifies. It purifies all. It is a yagna where all that is unwanted, where all that is the baggage that we have been carrying is being now purified. Feel the energy being released, feel the heat being experienced in your body at this point of time. As all the negativity is getting burnt, it is releasing the pure light of consciousness, and this light of consciousness is flowing in an energetic form, and you can feel the current in your body. You can feel the whole energy flowing. It is an experience that you're getting, which is real. It's part of your own energetic being, which is being activated, which is becoming aware, which is becoming purified. Hold on to this experience. Focus on this energy as this energy courses through every part of your body from head to toe, to your arms and legs, to every cell in your body. Making you feel so light, making you feel so comfortable. You are in the presence of the pure being. You're in the presence of the light of God consciousness. You've reached a form of formlessness, of pure consciousness, your original state, your state which is a constant before birth. That is how we exist. During this birth, during a lifetime, this is how we exist inside a body. And this is how we exit our body when we die. The body is just a garb which is used by this pure consciousness, pure energy. Aham nirvikalpo, nirakara rupo, vibhurvyapta sarvatra sarvendriyana, sadame samatvam, na muktir na bandho. Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham Shivoham, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham Shivoham, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham Shivoham. I am that embodiment of awareness which is blissful. I am Shiva as the formless one, attributeless one, which is all pervasive, all present, which is a substratum of everything that exists, which is all knowing. This is who I am. There can be no room for any fear. It's all a manifestation of the mind, and the mind has been purified today. I am that pure consciousness. And let this pure consciousness be our friend for life, be our guide for life, be our guru that guides from this moment onwards all our actions. And may the energy that we are experiencing today, may this flow from us to all our surroundings. And may we create the world of light, the world of love, and form this beautiful grid of light across the whole world. For the world is waking up. For the whole experience is shifting in our consciousness. And remember, everything is created by our consciousness. The world is a manifestation of this consciousness. As our consciousness shifts, the world shifts. And we are the creators of this new world, the new order. And together, as this beautiful gathering of souls, we are co-creating a beautiful future, a beautiful life, not only for ourselves, but for all the sentient and insentient beings. As we play our role, as we play our part in this divine drama, in this game called reality, letting go of all the attachments of this body, experiencing pure love, may this experience stay with you as a reminder of your reality, as a reminder of the real self, as an experience of the real self. Chidananda Rupam Shivoham Shivoham. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Sai Ishwaraya Namastu. I thank you all. Lots of gratitude to all of you and to the Supreme Consciousness for making its presence and giving us this experience. Thank you.
So you were talking about the effort and effortlessness. And in my experience, sometimes with effort, because, you know, I have to make time to go and sit down and put all the thoughts, unwanted thoughts away. And that's like, I feel it's a lot of effort. And then I do feel this beautiful presence. I do feel it like a dual thing, not like like a union, but a dual kind of presence that's loving and blissful. And but my question is, could you talk a little bit more about that effort and effortlessness of this path, because sometimes I do feel like there's a lot of effort, you know what I mean?
Yep. See, the effort, Monica, is only till the time we reach the stage of effortlessness. Okay. Effort is only, see, the entire effort is overcoming our mind. Because remember, our true state is a natural, free flowing state. That's who we are. And that is all pervading. It's just that the mind has, somewhere boxed it. The mind has caged it in its own interpretations, in its own way of looking at it, right? So the effort really, whatever you are calling as effort, the effort is only to get out of the box of the mind, or to, silence our mind. That's the only effort that is required, because we're already, we already are. We don't have to, do anything for that. Only thing that we have to do is to stop doing what we are doing, right? So the activity is actually in silencing the mind, or stopping its thought patterns and its way of doing things, right? Because that is interfering with our experience of ourselves. You understand? See, for example, in your at home, uh, you want to be silent, but your child is watching television and there is a lot of sound coming from the television, right? Now the television is like your mind. So what do when you want to have your silence? You will go and switch off the television, right? And then there will be silence in the room. So that's exactly what we are struggling with. We are only struggling with our mind, and we are struggling with our patterns. Okay, and that's why this silence, the whole idea, the effort is in actually getting into that stage of stillness. And that is what we find tough, because we are not used to it. Because for every time we've had a problem, we've run outside to find a solution, right? And so therefore that comes easy to us. It's very easy to travel as long as it takes, because it's easy. You buy a ticket, you go somewhere, you find somebody who's wise, you take, you ask questions, you get answers, you feel good. And therefore you feel, oh, so why do I need to do all that? Because, so the effort will is only required for going inwards, silencing this. And once that happens, the effort stops, right? It's like, you want to, let's say you want to construct a house. So there is a lot of effort required. You build a basement, you create foundations, then you have scaffoldings, and the whole building comes up. Then you do its interiors, okay? But one day, when the whole building is finished, you just move in, and then life is very comfortable. So that effort part is only as long as we are trying to shut off what is interfering with our experience, which is effortless. You understand what I'm saying? So, and it falls away. And that is why what I'm trying to say again and again is, remember what your goal is. Remember what is it that we are, trying to figure out in this life. What is this ultimate experience which we are seeking? Each one of us is seeking that experience. And that's why I keep giving you, all of you, glimpses of this experience, so that you know what you are seeking. And so you know what you need to do and to get there. And once you're there, everything else stops.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful.
I want to share that ever since I arrived back in my country, I thought I was going to lose a little bit of this feeling, this presence, but it's become overwhelming. Many things have presented, challenging things, challenging people. And if I'm in this presence in the heart is so intense that I know that I don't know what I have to say. I don't know what I have to do. I just shut up my head and things happen. And it's amazing. And for me, the uncomfortableness is to be in the head now. It's funny. When I slip into the mind, it's really uncomfortable. So, and I haven't been looking for things. People come, some girl that was suicidal, another one that was really lonely, challenging situations, and it's the presence is always there, and it's so amazing. Just that I wanted to share.
Wow, thanks, Mercedes. That's what it is, because the presence just can't go away. Remember, as I wrote in my blog, it is not about the presence, it is about the awareness of this presence. The presence is always there because that is who we are. And once you experience that presence, you can never, go back to it. It's like, once you've tasted the sweetness of a chocolate, you just can't, let go of that experience. So it will always remain with us. And once you are in that state, everything starts to happen. And so, Monica, if you heard what Mercedes had to say, then this is where effortlessness starts. And then the effort is required exactly for stopping the chatter of the mind. The mind will come, because remember, the mind does not like to take a back seat. It has ruled us for so many hundreds or thousands of lifetimes. That was the boss. And that's the reason why all of us are here. So, and now, it's taking a back seat. So of course it will come. And all I need to, share with you is, at the time when it comes, just be aware of it. Okay? That, hey, I don't like you, come on, and it starts to go away. So the key is awareness. And once that awareness comes, nobody can take it away from you. This is one wealth that nobody can steal from you. So don't be fearful. Yeah, there's no room of losing this once you have experienced it. And that's the beauty. That's why we are here. That's why the satsang. And hopefully all of us start experiencing it, and we'll go all our ways, and we will create our own sessions everywhere. Ram?
I just want to add, that what you've been saying is so true, and that's what I've been experiencing as well. That bringing your mind to that quiet state or that stillness is something there. So I was saying that yes, it takes effort, to still your mind, to quieten yourself, to be in awareness. Yeah. But once you are there, it gives you a strong sense of balance, which is very empowering there. And you've been constantly guiding us, to come back in balance, and that's what I have been practicing. And every time I lose my balance, I just tell myself, okay, come back in balance. And that's empowering there. That's really empowering, because then you do not lose the situation. You do not let other things go on a haywire, I would say. Because yes, there is chaos outside, but as long as you keep coming back in balance, I feel much more empowered there. And I'm so grateful to you for that nudging that you constantly keep doing us, that be in the presence, be aware, experience the presence. So extremely grateful to you, Bea. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing, Shipra. That is what the Sangha is for, and that's why we've been saying that satsang and the the gathering is so important, and then using this gathering to do manana and then nididhyasana. That's what the whole path that has been laid out for us, because we've gone beyond the bhakti stage. We've all started with bhakti. We're all been involved in karma yoga. Now is the time when we've entered the haloed portals of jnana yoga, and in that jnana the importance of satsanga is almost too precious, and we're all gaining together, and all of us are growing together by this constant reminder. It just helps us to constantly keep working at it, and ultimately the experiences are telling, and that experience is what we have to recognize. And once, as I said, and as you are also experiencing, as others have started to experience now, all this hard work of so many years of working on it, we're now beginning to all, we're like all of us in the stage of a pupa or lava, and soon trying to fly as butterflies, and it's all happening right now. It's it's a season, it's spring season. It's a season of resurrection. It's a season where our spirit, our soul, our true self is finally reinforcing itself. So yeah, happy times, and thanks for sharing, Chipra.
Sai Ram, Vikas.
Sai Ram, uncle. A belated happy birthday.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for remembering my birthday. Because you rightly pointed out that the deconstruction of the world is taking place, and I mean this world is created by our mind, only minds. A mind is nothing but thoughts, and those you have pointed out very correctly that it is combined influence of world, society, our immediate surroundings, our family, so I think what you said, whatever we are creating, we have to burn it definitely. How to do it, and you rightly said that fire of equity. Whatever is troubling you, you should put in that yagna, and we should finish that forever. I think many times you are earlier also told us, and that works very well. And what is outside world is created. Those thoughts which are not under our influence, they will certainly keep troubling us. Created by our society, by our world at large. That will those thoughts they will certainly trouble us. And I think you have said how to do it. Initial efforts are required. And I just wanted to say somewhere when Swami in one of his discourse said that if you less effort will be required if you stop your mind in two respects. One is word, another is form. If suppose I say I want to my mind wants to talk about Vikas. If I don't have word Vikas and I don't have form of Vikas in my mind, then there will not be any thoughts of Vikas. And that applies for anything, in fact. So if you want to shut your mind, easiest way, the Swami is one of his discourse has said, if you close these two things, you don't allow word and form, then it will those thoughts will disappear with much less effort. Just I wanted to submit that. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, uncle. That's a wonderful thought. So if you remove the name and form from the thought, So, the thought becomes, it does not attach you, it does not overpower you,
Yeah,
and it's easy
yeah, that's
to
right.
get over it. So, yeah, that's a very good thing, Uncle. Thank you for sharing.
Sairam?
Sairam?
Yes, it's nothing special I wanted to say, but just thank you for all these seasons. Seasons and things like this. These meditations, I love them. Thank you.
Hey, Nandi, your presence makes it so special. You're the only, kid of your age who's present here. So your presence itself is such a blessing for all of us. And I really admire and adore you that at this age you have this clarity and you're seeking this. So, your presence is actually a great blessing for the entire group. So thank you for being here and keep at it. You will guide thousands of souls, in the coming time. Okay. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too.
Thank you so much. Okay. So with that beautiful words of Nadi, we'll close.
Thank you so much, Vikas.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om.